20 Curiosities about the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. stands as one of the most defining figures in American history, his life and legacy woven deeply into the story of the nation's pursuit of justice and equality. Born into a family of ministers, King's early experiences were shaped by the strong moral guidance of his parents and the influence of the Black church. Raised in the segregated South, he witnessed firsthand the harsh realities of racial discrimination, which sowed the seeds of his passion for change. Growing up with a brilliant mind and deep empathy, King was driven to uplift his community and challenge the oppressive systems that restricted Black Americans. As he matured, King was drawn to theology and philosophy, absorbing the teachings of Christian love and Gandhi's principles of nonviolent resistance, which would become the foundation of his life's work. Though his activism would demand immense personal sacrifice, King never wavered in his commitment to peaceful protest and social reform. His speeches and writings eloquently challenged the conscience of America, bringing a moral clarity to the complex and painful issues of racism, poverty, and war. Each step of his journey was marked by a fierce resilience and an unwavering belief in the potential for transformative change. King's life was cut tragically short, yet his influence endures, a testament to his profound vision and unwavering dedication to justice. His legacy continues to inspire generations of activists, thinkers, and leaders, reminding the world of the power of courage, compassion, and the enduring pursuit of equality. As we explore his many achievements, it's evident that King's impact reaches far beyond his lifetime, reshaping not only the laws of a nation, but also the hearts and minds of people around the world. Number 20. Early entry to Morehouse College. At just 15, Martin Luther King Jr. entered Morehouse College, where he was shaped by professors, peers, and mentors advocating for racial justice. This early exposure to civil rights discussions instilled in King a lifelong dedication to equality and social reform. Influenced by Morehouse's president, Dr. Benjamin Mays, King began contemplating how he could best serve humanity. Mays, a respected minister and outspoken advocate for civil rights, helped King understand the power of peaceful resistance. By the time King graduated, he had developed a strong ethical foundation rooted in social responsibility, which set the stage for his later achievements. This early academic journey helped King mature into a visionary leader who understood the need for nonviolent resistance in the fight for racial equality. Number 19. Earning his divinity degree. After Morehouse, King attended Crozer Theological Seminary, where he pursued his Bachelor of Divinity degree. It was here that King encountered the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi, whose philosophy of nonviolence would become a guiding principle in his own life's work. Inspired by Gandhi, King began to see the power of love and peaceful resistance as potent tools for social change. At Crozer, King also excelled academically, graduating at the top of his class. This period of study deepened King's theological knowledge and strengthened his belief in a just world. By the time he completed his degree in 1951, King was equipped with both the intellectual and spiritual foundation to confront the injustices facing African Americans in the United States. Number 18. Becoming Dr. King. King's educational journey continued at Boston University, where he earned his PhD in theology in 1955. Achieving his doctorate was a defining accomplishment, solidifying King's place as an intellectual force. Boston introduced him to Coretta Scott, who would become his wife and partner in activism. Together, they shared a commitment to justice and equality, ready to face the turbulent civil rights struggles ahead. His PhD provided him with scholarly credibility that bolstered his role as a leader. This milestone marked not only a personal achievement for King, but also symbolized his readiness to challenge the status quo and uplift the African American community through both his scholarship and ministry. Number 17. Leading in Montgomery. After completing his PhD, King moved to Montgomery, Alabama, to serve as pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. In Montgomery, King quickly became a respected leader, recognized for his powerful sermons and compassionate guidance. As a pastor, he inspired his congregation with messages of hope, equality, and justice. His role in Montgomery's church community positioned him to lead the city's civil rights movement. This pastoral role would soon become a springboard for his work in racial justice, where he would gain national recognition. In Montgomery, King established himself not just as a preacher, but as a courageous voice for oppressed African Americans seeking freedom from systemic discrimination. Number 16, the Montgomery bus boycott. King rose to prominence by leading the Montgomery bus boycott after Rosa Parks' arrest in 1955. The boycott, which lasted 381 days, aimed to end racial segregation on public buses. Under King's leadership, the African American community united in an unprecedented act of defiance. Through peaceful protest, they highlighted the injustices of segregation to a national audience. Despite threats and violence, King remained steadfast, advocating for nonviolence. His role in the boycott brought him national attention and established him as a key figure in the civil rights movement. This pivotal event in King's life demonstrated the strength of collective action and the impact of peaceful protest. Number 15, founding the SCLC. In 1957, King co-founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, an organization dedicated to advancing civil rights through nonviolent action. The SCLC provided a platform to unite black churches in the fight for equality and helped spread King's message of peaceful resistance across the South. Through the SCLC, King and other leaders coordinated protests and demonstrations, training activists in nonviolent strategies. This organization became a driving force in the civil rights movement, amplifying King's influence. The SCLC strengthened King's impact by connecting communities under a shared vision for justice, making it possible to mobilize people and resources on a national scale. Number 14, surviving an assassination attempt. In 1958, King was nearly killed when he was stabbed by a woman at a book signing in Harlem. The attack was a stark reminder of the danger he faced as a civil rights leader. Miraculously, King survived and continued his activism with renewed determination. The incident also deepened his commitment to nonviolence, even in the face of personal risk. He saw this event as a sign to continue his work undeterred. Surviving the attack solidified King's resolve to push forward, reminding him that his mission for equality was worth any sacrifice. Number 13, publishing Stride Toward Freedom. In 1958, King published Stride Toward Freedom, a book recounting his experiences during the Montgomery bus boycott. The book shared his journey as an activist and his commitment to nonviolent resistance. Through his writing, King reached a wider audience, inspiring people to support the cause of civil rights. Stride Toward Freedom laid out King's philosophy and solidified his reputation as a powerful advocate for change. The book became an essential text in the movement, giving readers insight into the principles that would guide King's activism throughout his life. Number 12, the Birmingham Campaign. In 1963, King led the Birmingham Campaign, which exposed the brutality of segregation to the world. Through nonviolent protests, King and his fellow activists confronted systemic racism and sparked widespread media coverage. Images of police violence against peaceful protesters shocked the nation, drawing support for the civil rights movement. The campaign brought attention to the injustices faced by African Americans and intensified the call for equality. Birmingham marked a turning point, proving that peaceful protest could bring about real change. King's leadership during this campaign showcased his courage and commitment to justice. Number 11, Letter from Birmingham Jail. King's letter from Birmingham Jail, written in 1963, was a profound expression of his philosophy on civil rights. The letter, penned while King was imprisoned for protesting, articulated his belief in the moral imperative for immediate action against injustice. He addressed criticisms of his methods, defending the necessity of direct action. His letter became a foundational text in civil rights literature, resonating with activists worldwide. It captured King's resilience and eloquence, reinforcing his role as a visionary leader. The letter from Birmingham Jail is remembered as a powerful statement on justice and the need for unrelenting activism. If you like our work, follow our channel and hit the notification bell so you get informed each time we upload a new video. Number 10, the I Have a Dream speech. During the 1963 March on Washington, King delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech. Speaking to a massive crowd, he shared his vision of a future where people would be judged by their character rather than skin color. This speech became a rallying cry for justice, capturing the aspirations of the civil rights movement. King's words resonated across the nation, inspiring people of all backgrounds to support the struggle for equality. His speech at the Lincoln Memorial remains one of the most celebrated moments in American history, symbolizing hope for a more just society. Number 9. Time Magazine's Man of the Year. In 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year, a title that recognized him as one of the most influential leaders of his era. This accolade acknowledged his pivotal role in the civil rights movement and his dedication to achieving equality through nonviolent resistance. By selecting King, Time magazine highlighted the significance of the fight against racial injustice in America and brought his message to an even broader, global audience. King's presence on the magazine's cover symbolized the growing awareness of civil rights issues and underscored his impact on the national conscience. The honor validated his relentless efforts and helped amplify the urgency of the movement, inspiring countless individuals to join in the struggle for justice and equality. Number 8. Nobel Peace Prize winner. In 1964, King received the Nobel Peace Prize, becoming the youngest recipient at the time. This global recognition solidified his position as a symbol of peace and a leader in the struggle for civil rights. King used the platform to call for continued nonviolent efforts toward ending racial discrimination. His Nobel Prize was not only an acknowledgement of his achievements, but also a beacon of hope for the movement. King donated the prize money to the cause, further demonstrating his commitment. This international honor gave him a broader audience to promote justice and equality, strengthening his resolve to fight against injustice. Number 7. Voting rights movement in Selma. In 1965, King spearheaded the voting rights campaign in Selma, Alabama, where African Americans faced severe restrictions at the polls. King led the historic Selma to Montgomery marches, where activists faced brutal opposition from local authorities. These marches gained widespread media attention, eventually leading to the passage of the Voting Rights Act, a landmark victory in the civil rights movement. King's leadership in Selma highlighted the power of peaceful protest and exposed the severity of voter suppression in the South. The marches reinforced his reputation as a transformative leader, dedicated to securing equal rights for all Americans. Number 6. Expanding to economic justice. In 1967, King launched the Poor People's Campaign, broadening his focus to include economic justice for all marginalized communities, regardless of race. He recognized that poverty was a barrier to true equality, advocating for fair wages, housing, and social services. King's commitment to economic justice demonstrated his belief that civil rights extended beyond racial equality to encompass economic empowerment. Through this campaign, he called attention to the structural inequalities that kept people in poverty. King's dedication to economic justice showcased his understanding of the interconnectedness of social issues, emphasizing that freedom and equality must include financial stability for all. Number 5. Anti-war stance on Vietnam. In 1967, King publicly condemned the Vietnam War, arguing that the resources spent on the war could be better used to fight poverty and injustice at home. His anti-war stance aligned with his commitment to nonviolence and drew connections between U.S. foreign policy and social issues at home. Although his position was controversial, King held firm, emphasizing that peace abroad must accompany justice at home. This stance on the Vietnam War solidified his commitment to principled activism, even when it put him at odds with political leaders. King's opposition to the war reflected his broader vision of a peaceful, equitable world. Number 4. Final book, Where Do We Go From Here? In his last book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community, published in 1967, King laid out his vision for the future. He called for unity, economic justice, and a continued commitment to nonviolence, emphasizing that true progress required addressing deep-rooted inequalities. The book outlined a blueprint for creating a just society and urged readers to reject hatred and division. King's writing demonstrated his unwavering belief in humanity's potential to overcome oppression. This final work reflected his desire for a world built on compassion, cooperation, and equality. King's vision continues to inspire activists worldwide. Number 3. Leading the Memphis sanitation strike. In 1968, King traveled to Memphis, Tennessee to support striking sanitation workers demanding fair wages and better working conditions. The strike highlighted the intersection of economic and racial justice, issues that King championed throughout his life. He saw the struggle of the Memphis workers as emblematic of the broader fight for equality. King's involvement in the strike underscored his commitment to justice for the working class. His presence brought national attention to the workers' plight, emphasizing that civil rights included the right to dignity and fair treatment for all laborers. This advocacy demonstrated King's dedication to fighting for those most marginalized. Number 2. I've been to the mountaintop speech. The night before his assassination, King delivered his poignant "I've been to the mountaintop" speech. Reflecting on his journey, he expressed a sense of foreboding but remained steadfast in his commitment to justice. His words conveyed a vision of hope and resilience, assuring his followers that the fight for equality would continue. King's speech emphasized his unshakable faith in the future, even in the face of danger. This final public address is remembered as one of King's most powerful speeches, capturing his enduring spirit. His prophetic words have since become a symbol of his legacy and sacrifice. Number 1. His assassination and legacy. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, an event that shook the nation. His death sparked grief and riots, underscoring the deep impact he had on American society. King's legacy, however, continued to inspire generations as his life's work became a guiding force for civil rights movements worldwide. His commitment to nonviolence, equality, and justice remains an enduring example of moral leadership. King's assassination marked a tragic end to a life dedicated to the betterment of humanity. Yet his vision for a just and inclusive society lives on, inspiring countless others to carry forward his dream of equality. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life is a testament to the enduring strength of compassion, courage, and resilience in the face of profound adversity. He did not merely call for change, he embodied it, showing that progress is possible when principles are rooted in love, respect, and a commitment to justice. Though his life was tragically cut short, King's influence only grew, permeating not only the civil rights movement, but also every social justice movement that followed. His speeches, writings, and unyielding spirit continue to echo in the hearts and minds of those fighting for equality and freedom around the world. King's impact can be seen in countless ways, from inspiring political leaders to shaping cultural narratives and promoting individual activism. His message of nonviolence and unity resonates today, reminding us that true change requires both compassion and conviction. Even now, decades later, his vision remains a powerful guide for those seeking to dismantle oppression and foster a society where everyone's dignity is upheld. The legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. is not confined to history. It is a call to action, urging us all to continue the journey toward justice, equality, and a world where freedom belongs to everyone. We are glad you have reached the end of the video. Please subscribe to the channel and leave suggestion about any topic of your choice in the comments. We are a growing channel and we truly appreciate your support. We'll be back real soon with 20 new curious facts about something else.